Hi, Assalamualaikum, and my name is Sarah Wadina as a presenter one, and there's Zakwan, Dalila, and Shaza will be the other presenter in my team. So today we're gonna present it to you about energy. So there are four main points that we're gonna share with you, which is first fossil fuels, solar energy, nuclear power, and hydropower. Energy. So energy in physics, the capacity for doing work. It may exist in potential, kinetic, thermal, electrical, chemical, nuclear, or other various forms. Non-renewable energy comes from sources that will run out or will not be replenished for thousands or even a million of years. Renewable energy is energy from sources that are naturally replenishing but low limited. Renewable resources are virtually inexhaustible in duration but limited in the amount of energy that is available per unit of time. Fossil fuels include coal, petroleum, natural gas, oil shells, bitumen, tar sands, and heavy oils. All contain carbon and were formed as a result of geologic processes acting on the remains of organic matter produced by photosynthesis, a process that began in the Archean eon 4.0 billion to 2.5 billion years ago. A fossil fuel is a hydrocarbon-containing material formed underground from the remains of dead plants and animals that humans extract and burn to release energy for use. The main fossil fuels are coal, petroleum, and natural gas, which humans extract through mining and drilling. Five main of fossil fuels are coal, oil, natural gas, and biomass.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So next I will talk about nuclear power. So what is nuclear power exactly? Nuclear power is used to generate electricity, but unlike fossil fuels, it does not burn. Uranium reactions take place that split the atoms and release huge amounts of heat energy. Inside the nuclear reactor, the heat released from nuclear fission reactions is used to change water into steam. As in other types of power station, the steam then turns a turbine, which turns a generator and produces electricity. Next is nuclear reactions. So nuclear reactions is the interactions between the nuclei of atoms, including nuclear fission and nuclear fusion. It deals with matter and energy. So there are two types of nuclear reactions. First is the fission reaction, which is the splitting of a nucleus into two daughter nuclei. And next is the fusion reaction, which is two parent fuse into one daughter nucleus. This is the example of fission reaction. A stray neutron strikes an atom of U-235. It absorbs the neutron and becomes an unstable atom of U-236. It then undergoes fission. So these neutrons can strike other U-35 atoms to initiate their fission. This is the fusion reaction example. Two light nuclei merge to form a single heavier nucleus. The process releases energy because the total mass of the resulting single nucleus is less than the mass of the two original nuclei. The leftover mass becomes energy. So this is how nuclear energy works. First of all, the energy released by the nuclear reaction heats water in the pressurized first circuit to a very high temperature. Then the superheated water is pumped to a heat exchanger, which transfers the heat of the first circuit to the second circuit. Water in the second circuit flashes into high pressure steam. Then the steam is directed against a turbine, setting it in motion. The turbine sets the generator in motion, generating electricity. So what waste does nuclear power produce? So nuclear power station produce radioactive waste such as uranium. So they use nuclear fuel contains some uranium which can be separated from the waste and reused. It also contains plutonium, which is a highly radioactive product of the fission reaction that occurs in uranium nuclear fuel. Nuclear energy is climate friendly.
Hi and Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Nurdaila binti Azhar and I'll be explaining the topic of solar energy. What is solar energy? Solar energy is the radiant light from the sun that is capable of producing heat, causing chemical reaction and generate electricity. Solar energy is harnessed by technologies such as solar thermal electricity, solar photovoltaics, solar heatings, and solar architecture. In this slide, I will discuss about the solar power. Solar power is the conversion of sunlight into electricity. There are two types of solar power, which are photovoltaics and concentrated solar power. In photovoltaics, light is converted into electricity by using the photoelectric effect. It is directly using the photovoltaics. In concentrated solar power, it uses lenses and mirror and tracking system to focus on large area of sunlight into a beam, and it is directly use the concentrated solar power. In this slide, I will explain about solar photovoltaic, or known as solar PV, which is one of the technology that harness solar energy. It is defined as a method of generating electrical power by converting radiant solar into DC electricity by using semiconductor. The system used is a PV system, or known as photovoltaic system, which is defined as an arrangement of components that designed to supply usable electricity power for variety purposes. So the two types of PV system that use is grid connected system and stand-alone system. On the next slide, I will explain about the grid connected system.
The first system of photovoltaic system, which is grid connected system, is defined as power systems that are energized by photovoltaic panels which are connected to the utility grid. It consists of photovoltaic panels, MPPT, inverters, power conditioning units, and grid connection equipment. It also supplies the excess power beyond consumption by the connected load to utility grid. The second system of photovoltaic system is stand-alone system, which is defined as the automatic solar system which produces electrical power to charge batteries during the day for use at night where the sun is unavailable. The generated power is stored and buffered with a battery. The most commonly battery used is lead-acid battery, since it has low cost and high durable. It is also ideal for remote rurals and applications. The next technologies of solar energy is solar thermal energy. Solar thermal energy is defined as a form of energy and a technology used for harnessing solar energy to generate thermal energy and electrical energy. Solar thermal collectors are classified into three categories, which are low temperature collector, medium temperature collectors, and high temperature collector. The first type of collector, which is low temperature collectors, are defined as the flat plates that are generally used to heat swimming pools. The second collectors, which is medium temperature collectors, is defined as the flat plates that are used to heat water and air for residential and commercial use. The last type is high temperature collector. It is used to concentrate sunlight by using mirrors or lenses. It's also for the production of electrical power. In this slide, I will discuss the advantages of solar energy. First, solar energy is renewable energy source that can be harnessed in all areas and available every day. We cannot run out of solar energy unlike other sources of energy. Besides, using solar energy can reduce our electricity bills. This is because the sunlight is free. The electricity used during daylight is the conversion of the sunlight. Thus, it helps in reducing our electricity bills. Other than that, solar energy can be used for diverse purposes. It can be used to produce electricity in areas without access to the energy grid, or to distill water in regions with limited water supplies. It can be used to produce electricity and heat. Solar energy system has low maintenance costs. It just need to be kept clean couple of times per year, so it can be in good condition in long term. Lastly, it also gives advantages in the technology development of solar power industry.
In this slide, I will discuss about the application of solar energy, which is solar active fan. Solar active fan is used to remove excess heat from your house. It is one of the technology that use solar ventilations. Solar ventilation solution reduce heat from your house by cooling the house during hot day. It is powered by the solar radiant, which is sunlight, by using photovoltaic system. The next application of solar energy is solar lamp. Solar lamp operates electricity by using battery and it is charged through solar panel during the daylight. Solar lamp has low cost compared to kerosene lamp because renewable energy from the sun is free. It has no indoor pollution and it also uses photovoltaic system. The solar lamp that we commonly use is, for example, the solar lamp that use on the highway road. Those are the lamps that use solar energy. That's all from me.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. Now I'm going to talk about the hydropower. Okay, now what is hydropower? Hydropower is energy that's come from the force moving water. The fall of movement of water is a part of continuous natural cycle that we call water cycle. Hydro has been one of the main source of power for 500 years and more. Okay, now let's move to the how hydropower is generated. Hydropower or hydroelectricity refer to the conversions of energy from flowing water into electricity. It is considered a renewable energy source. The modern hydro plant produce electricity using the turbines and generators. The mechanical energy created by moving water spin rotor on the turbine. This turbine be connected to an electromagnetic generator which is produce electricity when the turbine spin. There are two main types of hydrocity productions, which is a dam and a run of river. Hydro dam utilize the potential energy from dam water to produce electricity. A dam is a large barrier constructed to raise the level of water and control its flow. The elevations by the dam create gravitational force for turning the turbines when water is released. Hydropower has several benefits. The main advantages is power are continuously available on demand because hydropower is one of the renewable energy. Also, it is a concentrated energy source. Next is energy come from the hydropower can be predicted. It is cost competitive because hydropower has several benefits. The main advantages is power are continuously available on demand because hydropower is one of the renewable energy. Also, it is a concentrated energy source. Energy come from the hydropower can be predicted. It is cost competitive from electricity, even though the additional building costs can be high. Also, no fuel are required. And lastly, hydropower is a low-lasting technology because system can last for 50 years or more without major new investment. Power also have their disadvantages. First is site-specific technology where the sites that are well to the harnessing of power water and also close to the location where the power can be economical exploit are not very common. Second is maximum useful power output available. Next is river flow often very considerable with the seasons, especially where there are monsoon type and this can limit the firm water output for quite a small fraction of the possible peak output. Okay, now let's move to the how water convert to the power. To know the power potential of water in a river is necessary to know the flow in the river and the river head. So the first flow of water, which is represent as Q, is normally given in the unit cubic meter per second or liter per second. Where head is a vertical difference in level in unit meter, the water fall down. Head is represent as H. So the formula for theoretical power is P equal to Q times H times C, where C is the constant which is density of water time by gravitational force. When P is measured in watts, the gross power of the flow water is P equal to 1000 times 9.8 times Q times H. There are two types of water turbine. First, reaction turbines and impulse turbine. The main differences between This too is all hydraulic energy is converted into energy by a nozzle in the impulse turbine, and where in the reaction turbine, only some amount of available energy is converted into kinetic energy. I think that's all from us. Thank you.